looking for the cure.
Hello, my fellow students. My name is Leodor Brahamian, and my shared topic this year is Ewing sarcoma. Ewing sarcoma is a type of bone cancer known as the second most common type of cancer in the bones. Ewing is commonly found around the pelvis, tibia, fibula, femur, and also in soft tissues. The common age group for this specific cancer is usually around the age of 10 to 20. Now, for my creative project, I am presenting a recorded video chat that my cousin and I made. I am pretty much interviewing her, but just in a video chat form. The reason why I am video chatting with my cousin Ganin is because she has Ewing sarcoma and is actually in the middle of fighting this malicious cancer. My cousin having Ewing sarcoma made me want to learn more about Ewing because I wanted to learn more about what is happening to my cousin. Now, class, what I would like you to pay attention in this interview is the questions I ask her, and especially the answers she answers. I guarantee you that you will learn something new in this video. Now, Gani, I'm going to go and ask you a couple questions, and I'm going to actually need you to answer them, whether you like it or not.
Alright, deal.
Okay, so when did you find out you had Ewing sarcoma?
I was 16 years old.
Okay, how did you find out? Like, what were you going through until, like, whenever you found out?
Well, I was having a lot of back pain, and I didn't tell anybody for a long time until it got to the point where I was having trouble walking. So I finally just told the nurse, and she said, "Oh, I'm sure it's nothing. It's probably just an inflammation in your spine." And I saw the doctor, and she said, "Oh, it's probably nothing. If it's like an infection, you can just take these painkillers." And I thought to myself, well, I'd rather, know what the problem is rather than just numbing it down with some painkillers. So I got an MRI, which is kind of like they take a picture of your body from the inside. And then they came to my school and said, "Yeah, you need to go see the doctor immediately." And my mom picked me up, and we did the scans, and they told me that there was a tumor, but they didn't know if it was benign or malignant. And the difference is benign tumor is kind of like a mass, like flesh, but an extra flesh, but it doesn't grow. But malignant is when it's growing and it's spreading everywhere, so that's cancer. So I had to have surgery to see if it was malignant or benign, and it turned out to be malignant, which is cancer. So then I found out it was Ewing sarcoma after a couple of tests, and I started doing treatment.
Whenever you found out that you had cancer, were you like really scared? Like, did you cry, or were you at the point where you were gonna die? At that point,
honestly, I've always felt that I was a strong person, not to flatter myself, but I just wasn't. I wasn't really scared. I didn't think that it would be. I thought that whatever it was going to be, I was going to just handle it. I was going to do what I needed to do to get through treatment. And I remember everybody around me was really scared, and that scared me more than the actual diagnosis. And diagnosis means when someone tells you, you have cancer or you have this illness. And I remember my parents were in the room with me when I was diagnosed, and they were crying and everything, but I was holding it in most of the time. And it wasn't after my cancer kept coming back that I got more worried, just because it seemed like, okay, well, I did my treatment, why is it still coming back? So that's when it gets more scary and you realize how much it does have an effect on your life. But everything's going well. I'm still doing treatment. It's been 5 years, but I'm really lucky. Not a lot of people can get through it. So I feel very fortunate to be able to still do treatment and stuff.
so you said that as soon as you like got that pain, you went to the doctors. Like you got that symptom of like pain and everything, which is like the most common symptom, pain. So then, was it the same symptoms for your second time and your third time?
That's a good question. Actually, no, because what happens is when someone has cancer and they go through treatment, they're still going through treatment. That's what the stage that they're in, but they're considered to be in remission after they're done with their treatment. And remission basically means that you're not completely cured, but you can't see that the cancer is anywhere in your body. But when you're in remission, it's very likely for your cancer to come back. Usually, almost always, it takes 5 years to be in remission until you're considered to be cured. So I was in remission, and when you're in remission, you have to do scans, like MRI, CT scans, bone scans, just taking pictures of inside of your body to see if the cancer is there. And they do it on a regular basis because they know it can definitely come back. But after 5 years that you haven't had it, they don't check anymore because they consider you to be cured because it's so unlikely for it to come back. So we just saw it in the scans, and we just started doing treatment immediately.
Okay, that's good. Okay, explain it to us what chemotherapy does to you.
Sure, it's actually surprising. Not a lot of people know what chemotherapy is like. Some people think you're like electrocuted, and it's actually a liquid that goes through your body. And when you go to the hospital, they hook you up to a pole, and they have IVs. IV is like a tube, and so they connect the end of one IV into your vein, and then the other end of the IV goes into a liquid. And so that liquid drips down and goes into your body. And basically the liquid is poison, but it's poison in a way so that it kills your cancer cells. So although it kills the cancer cells, it also kills the rest of your body as you're going through it. So they have to be very careful not to give you too much, but they want to give you enough so that your body is killed enough in the inside so that the cancer dies with it. So what they do is they just regulate how much you're doing, and they do a bunch of tests, and that's why people lose their hair sometimes when they're doing treatment, or they get really, really sick. And the other form of treatment is radiation therapy, and that's kind of like, I don't know if any of you guys have gotten x-rays, but it's basically like getting an x-ray, but it's like a really big machine, and it's really high tech, and usually you don't really feel it, you just get really, really tired afterwards. But that's another form of treatment that you can do. Treatment's usually just like 3, 6, or 12 months, and I'm almost done with my 12 months, so I'll definitely be seeing you in the summer.
Okay, and my last question is, did Ewing sarcoma change your life? Like, the positive ways and negative ways, did it change your life? Like, are you happy it changed your life? You understand what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I definitely look at cancer as a blessing for me. I know that it's been bad for other people. It's taken other people's lives away, other people's sisters and moms. But for me, I just look at it in a very positive way. I feel like if I didn't have cancer, I would take everything for granted, and I would have just been like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to do what I want to do. But now I see the impact that you can have in the world, that you can help somebody out, that there's a lot of people who need stuff. For example, I don't know if you guys know this, but donating blood, if you go and donate blood today, you're going to save 3 lives. And when someone like me is going through something like this, you see how important it is. I've bumped into so many kids at the hospital that are so sick and are going through so much, and it's so unfair because they haven't done anything to deserve it. So it really opens your eyes and sees that although we're all very fortunate, there's people who have worse. I mean, I feel very fortunate. Although I have cancer, I feel very lucky because every day I'm so thankful for so many different things, and cancer made me aware of that. So once you become thankful for things in your life, you start becoming more happy and more excited for even little things. I remember one time I got so sick, I had all these mouth sores all over my mouth because of the treatment, and I couldn't eat for a week. And I think I was just having juices and liquids and stuff. And I remember leaving and going to a hamburger place and looking at this hamburger, like, oh my gosh, I hadn't eaten in a week, and I was so excited. I was looking at this hamburger, and it was like the best hamburger in the world because I appreciated it. I was thankful. I'm like lucky enough to eat this hamburger. So hopefully you guys will take a message from this and think, you know what, I may have not done so well on a test today. I may have not done well in a basketball game. The girl I like doesn't like me back, but you know what, if you just look at the things that you do have and you're appreciative for it, you'll definitely be a happier person.
Okay, well, thank you for your time today, class, and I will go and see you right now. Bye-bye. Thank you. Say goodbye, Gani.